I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, May the 7th, 2015. With less than 2 hours to spare before the midnight deadline last night, a deal was signed between Likud and Beit HaYehudi in Israel, enabling the formation of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's new coalition. Netanyahu notified Israel's President Reuven Rivlin that he had succeeded in forming a new government late last night. The agreement signed between the parties gives party leader Naftali Bennett the Education and Diaspora Affairs Ministries, party MK Uri Ariel will be Agricultural Minister, and MK Ayelet Shaked Justice Minister. Initially, Netanyahu had conditioned Shaked's appointment on not giving her the authority to head the committee overseeing nominations of new judges, nor the Ministerial Committee for Legislation, and also not the authority to appoint rabbinical judges. Beit Yehudi rejected that and demanded Shaked have all of the traditional authority of the Justice Ministry. Ultimately, the Prime Minister agreed to give her 2 out of the 3, limiting her only to not having the authority to appoint rabbinical judges. With the agreement reached, Netanyahu was able to reach the 61 Knesset seat requirement. He said 61 seats is a good number, 61 plus is a better number, but it starts with 61, and we will begin with that, adding that there was now much work to be done. Meanwhile, Zionist union leaders Isaac Herzog and Tzipi Livni criticized the newly formed coalition and said they would remain in the opposition. The White House released a statement today congratulating Netanyahu on the formation of the coalition. In it, President Barack Obama said he looks forward to working with the Prime Minister and his new government, restating the great importance the U.S. places on close cooperation with Israel. Obama said, "We also look forward to continuing consultations on a range of regional issues, including international negotiations to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon, and the importance of pursuing a two-state solution." The IDF will investigate reports of a Hamas terror tunnel said to be under a kibbutz near Israel's border with Gaza. Israel's Channel 10 reported yesterday that a resident of kibbutz Nirim asked a private company to look into the claim after residents complained that they heard construction noises underground. The company supported those claims after their investigation. The IDF is said to now be conducting their own inquiry. This follows other reports that Hamas is rebuilding its terror structure and attack capabilities on Israel after this summer's Operation Protective Edge. 2 American colleges rejected efforts by the BDS boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement this week that seeks to delegitimize the State of Israel. A BDS referendum at Bowdoin College in Maine, sponsored by the school's chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine, had called for a total academic and cultural boycott of Israel. It was defeated yesterday with 71% voting against. Earlier this week, the California Community College system, which is the largest educational system in the U.S., voted down a similar bill calling for the divestment from companies doing business with Israel. Tomorrow, May the 8th, marks the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II, Victory in Europe, or VE Day. A state ceremony was held in Israel today at the Armored Corps Memorial at Latrun outside of Jerusalem, in cooperation with Yad Vashem, Israel's living memorial to the Holocaust. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin, Prime Minister Netanyahu, and Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon spoke at the ceremony, whose attendees included World War II veterans and Holocaust survivors. And here in the U.S., over 40 vintage aircraft of World War II will take part in a flyover above the nation's capital tomorrow, Friday, May the 8th, in tribute to the anniversary. They will also fill the skies above the Lincoln Memorial and the National World War II Memorial. The World Jewish Congress honored Lord George Wiedenfeld with their Theodore Herzl Award at a gala dinner in London last week. The award recognizes outstanding individuals who work to carry forward Herzl's ideals for a safer, more tolerant world for the Jewish people. Wiedenfeld, who is 95, was presented the award by WJC President Ronald Lauder, who praised him for the courage to speak out in the face of injustice. Together with Lauder, Wiedenfeld helped expose former Austrian President Kurt Waldheim's Nazi past. We will have more from the WJC Gala tomorrow night, Friday at 11:30 p.m. on JBS's In the News. The Jewish holiday of Lag BaOmer was celebrated last night. Bonfires were lit across Israel to remember Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, a leading disciple of Rabbi Akiva in the 2nd century. The holiday is also linked to the Bar Kokhba revolt against the Roman Empire around 132 BCE. It is marked on the 33rd day of the Omer, the counting of the days between the Jewish holidays of Passover and Shavuot. And turning now to our programming for tonight, Thursday, May the 7th. At 9 o'clock, Mark Golub sits down with Rabbi Peter Weintraub, dinner chair of the 2015 Friends of the IDF Gala at the Waldorf Astoria. That's on L'chaim. At 10, Wall Street Journal's Bret Stephens and New York Times' Roger Cohen debate the threat of a nuclear Iran. That's moderated by Jason Isaacson of the American Jewish Committee. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, former Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz weighs in on a variety of current issues, including the Baltimore riots following the death of Freddie Gray, religious freedom versus gay civil rights, and President Obama regarding Iran. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, May the 7th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.